Meteorologist Tom Saunders joins us now. Tom, g'day. So what are conditions like right now along the far north Queensland coast?
Well, Joe, it's actually not too bad just at the moment. It's gradually deteriorating. Here's a shot just a short time ago. You can see from Port Douglas. It is cloudy, but we're not seeing huge amounts of wind and the seas haven't really picked up. But let's have a look at the satellite. So there we have Tropical Cyclone Jasper. It's still around 200 kilometres off the coast. Now, it's just the outer bands of the system which are now starting to clip the coastline. And we can really see that actually if we look at the radar, you can just see bursts of showers starting to move through. But since 9 a.m, we haven't had huge falls around that north tropical coast. Innisfail 15, Cairns 5 millimetres, Cooktown you've had 7 millimetres of rain. Definitely the heaviest rain right now is still well offshore near the centre of Tropical Cyclone Jasper.
And it was interesting to see in the 24 hours to 9 this morning, the big falls up around 250 mils were actually down at Mackay, a bit further to the south. Are they still associated with that system?
Yeah, look, the very outer bands of the system, but the absolute heaviest rain will be coming through tomorrow, though, when it hits the coast. So, look, let's just have a quick look at the warning then. There's your cyclone warning, Cape Flattery down to Lucinda, and there it is hitting the coast, Category 2. Most likely just around the Port Douglas area, perhaps. But it looks like it will hit the coast north of Cairns. Now, a Category 2 system on this occasion expecting destructive gusts up to 140 kilometres per hour. That kind of wind strength, it can do some structural damage, a little bit of vegetation damage as well. Trees can come down, crop damage is possible, and also power failures. But you generally in Australia don't see a huge amount of damage from Category 2s from the wind. Also, as it does move onto the coast, you'll have the storm surge and, of course, the heavy rainfall. So anywhere there in the darker shading could see gale force winds within the next 24 hours. Let's have a look at the forecast rain and winds now spinning around that system as it hits the coast. Now, near the centre of Jasper, we're looking at up to 500 millimetres of rain in a 24-hour period. That's life-threatening flash flooding. So we will see a rapid increase in the creeks. And also widespread river flooding could develop with the system. Thankfully, it is on the move. It's not one of these systems that will stall near the coast. So 24 to 36 hours roughly of heavy rain before it starts to ease off as it moves further inland. And let's have a look at the forecast swells now as well. They'll really pick up tomorrow. The combined seas and swells will be exceeding 6 metres on the coast, and it's coinciding with a full moon. So king tide's already on that north tropical coast, and then the onshore winds on the southern side of the system will just help to drag that ocean onto the coast, leading to a storm surge, Joe.
And Tom, I know a lot of locals would be interested in hearing this from an expert, because you sit on the coast there, you're watching the Bureau of Meteorology website, you're keeping across the forecast trap map, and you kind of it adjusts every update that comes through. Next update's due in about an hour. What are the elements that are affecting which way the eye of the cyclone is going?
Yeah, so generally with the tropical cyclone, what happens is they're carried by the surrounding environment. Now, even though they create their own winds, on the periphery of the system, there's the environmental wind, and they're carried in that wind. So what we have at the moment generally is an easterly airstream through northern Queensland, and that's why Cyclone Jasper is heading towards the west. It's being carried by those easterly winds, but there is a wobble in the system, which is why it often goes north and south.
Okay, and there is a chance that after it crosses Cape York and disintegrates into a low, it could actually re-intensify into a cyclone in the Gulf?
Looking pretty likely, and that's quite common in Australia when the systems stay far enough north. Let's have a look at the forecast track then, actually, as we head towards the weekend. So there it is, weakening to a tropical low over Cape York Peninsula, but then entering the Gulf. Now, we're going through Friday here. During Saturday, perhaps re-intensifying into a
actually hitting the Northern
system.
Territory. Right.
Well, possibly. The further out you go, the harder it is to predict. So there's a pretty wide cone by the time you get that far out. But it's even possible as we move into next week, the system, after hitting the coast, may then pop out off the coast and redevelop a third time somewhere to the west of Darwin. So that'll be something, Joe, we'll be watching really carefully next week.
It's not often there would have been a triple whammy in Australia with a cyclone hitting 3 states. We'll see if it goes all the way to WA. Okay, thanks so much for giving us your perspective, Tom.
Okay, cheers.